Hi John, as promised, here's a little tour of the new Pandigital Scanner we've been talking about. This is it. It's really simple, really small. On this side is where the photos come out after they've been scanned, along with a little slot for the SD memory card. This is the same card format that goes in our Canon cameras. The scanner comes with one, which is what this one is. It's a 1 gig card. Just going to put that in there. This is the front end of it, the area where you actually put your photos in. It has a little guide right here that slides. It may seem like a little bit of a gimmick, but I found it really helps to set that because it helps you load the photos straight. Even if you get them crooked, it's going to scan the whole thing and just leave you some black edges around it. But this little guide really does help you keep things lined up. On the end, you have the power connection and a connector for a USB port. The system comes with software that allows you to drive this from your computer, but the fact that this scans right to this card and lets you just fly along really fast, I don't see any reason to connect it to the computer. So I've got it plugged in now, I've got the card installed. I'm going to hit the power button to turn it on, and at this point I can just start feeding photos. Over here I've got a box of photos. They're different sizes, and I've pulled them all out of an old photo album that had the that style that had the sticky back paper and the cellophane cover. So I had a little trouble getting them out, so they're curly and they're not in very good shape, but they'll work just fine. I'm going to start, however, with 3 photos that came from one of my mom's old cameras. It's one of those cameras that you look down through the top of and the image is reversed. It's a different format. It's a square format photo, and I'm just going to stick this anywhere in the middle of the scanner and let it go through. And it's just that easy. It doesn't have to be on any one edge or anything. It can be anywhere along the body, and it's going to go in just like that. And notice that when I'm looking at the device with the Pandigital logo on the left hand side, the photo goes in like this, and when you open it in Photoshop it will be in the correct orientation. So I finished those, set those aside. I'm going to move over to some of these wider prints. I need to adjust my little guide bar here to make room, and I'm not making it exactly right, but it's close enough to help me get that guided in. And now I'm just going to let them go through. Something to mention that I've made the mistake myself several times is as the photo comes out the back end, don't rush to take a hold of it. It's actually scanning it right up till the very end, and if you touch it while it's coming out and it either stops or twists, that'll blur that last little bit of your photo. So let them stop and drop off onto the table before you pick them up. But you can see it moves right along, and as I'm doing this, keep an eye on this little power button here. It's flashing while it's writing to that memory card. While you're scanning, you don't have to be concerned about that. You can just feed photos in here as quick as you like. But when it comes time to remove the card, you want to make sure that that light is no longer flashing so that you know it's done writing to the card. There's no eject or stop or anything. You just have to keep an eye on that light when you're ready to take the card out. One of the things you asked was about quality, and you wanted to see an example of a good photo. I'm going to use this one. I'm not necessarily saying that this is a good photo. It's about 25 years old. It's an old print. It's got decent exposure, decent color. It's of a ship in the Sulaks between the border of Michigan and Canada. And it's curly. Came out of one of those albums. And like I say, it's a halfway decent shot. This is the one we'll look at in Photoshop in a few minutes so you can see what it looks like. But one of the things I like is you can just sit here and you really don't have to pay too close attention, and you can get, even on this small 1 gig card, I'm able to scan about 100 photos. Of course it depends on the size of your original, but you can get a lot done just feeding them through like this. And again, scanning to this card makes it really nice. You don't have to be connected to the computer or anything. All you need is electricity, so you can do this anywhere. And I'll do one more after this, and then we'll be done, and we'll take a look at these in Photoshop and see what we've got. Okay. So now my light has stopped flashing. I can remove the memory card from the back. Just pulls out. Again, no eject button or anything. It just pulls in and out. And I'll bring the old netbook up here. Put the card in the card reader. And on the card it creates a folder called Photo 1. If the card was used in something else, for example, if you took the card right out of your Canon camera and used it, that's still going to be fine. It just creates this folder. It doesn't mess with anything else on the card. So you can share cards around for different purposes. It works fine. And in there are the photos. It automatically names them with PD for Pandigital _ and then a sequential number. You may notice there's a photo here that you did not see me scan. What I've been doing is leaving the last photo on the card when I clean it off. Whenever you scan it, checks to see what the last number it used was and creates the next ones in sequence. And I'm just doing that so that my numbers stay sequential. As you can see, I'm up into the low 900s now of photos I've scanned with this. And it just allows me to keep, all the photos sequential. And here I'm just doing the large thumbnail preview in Windows Explorer, but let me go down to the end here and grab that ship picture, which is this guy right here, and I'll open that in Photoshop. And as you can see, I didn't feed it perfectly square, and so I just get some black borders where it was a little bit off. And again, because I'm recording this video, I probably wasn't as careful with it as I normally am. I normally don't have those black edges. But here's the original and what we see in Photoshop. I think it did a great job on this. I'm going to apply auto levels just to clean it up a little bit. Brightens up the sky quite a bit. And I'm real happy with that. That's a real good scan, I think. And you can see how fast and easy it was. So that's it. That's the Pandigital little scanner there, and I'm real happy with it. Go get yourself one.